back to another movie review. This is one I have been so excited to review for you guys. I watched this movie last night and it was quite late when I started watching it. I put it on thinking, oh, you know, I'll just probably watch the beginning of it and watch the rest in the morning, because I do that sometimes. It was quite late. I started watching this around, like, just kind of before 12 midnight. So I just watched a little bit. But this movie had me so hooked from the beginning, I could not stop watching it. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was fantastic and it really blew me away, so I wanted to do the review as soon as I could and share this movie with you guys. So the movie I will be talking about is The Call, with Halle Berry and Abigail Breslin. I believe this movie came out in 2013 and it's such an amazing, interesting movie. So basically it's kind of like a suspense, thriller, mystery, crime type of film. And it starts out very interesting because it's about this woman who, played by Halle Berry, who works in the 911 call centre in LA. And it was really interesting to kind of see these, you know, the start of the movie, you're just kind of seeing these different calls they get and the things that they have to go through in them. I mean, I don't know how correct this is, but still it was very interesting. You know, they had to put all the calls into different categories and have to, you know, sort things out like that. And so it's very much based around this 911 call centre. And then the whole kind of story takes place when, I'm not going to give too much away with this, so some other things do happen before this, but I don't want to give those away, but I'll give you the basic plot. You know, a young girl rings up, who is Abigail Breslin, and she rings the 911 and she's been kidnapped. She's in the trunk of a car, she doesn't know where she's going, and that's all she knows. And it's very interesting. The suspense in this movie is insane. I was on the edge of my seat so much. Literally, I was like, my heart was beating so fast. I was like sweating at some point. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what happened. I was just so invested in this movie and this situation, and I just didn't really know what was gonna. It takes all these different turns, and it's very, very, very good. Halle Berry was fantastic. I thought she was brilliant. Abigail Breslin did a really great performance as well. There was actually this, like I say, most of the movie is very much a suspense on the edge of your seat, not sure what's going to happen, kind of mystery, trying to figure things out type of thing. But there's definitely a part in the movie, kind of towards the middle of the movie, or, you know, the first third, it's actually a really emotional scene, and I thought it was really sad, and it was definitely an emotional scene. I was surprised to see that in this movie, that there was a scene that could be that kind of emotional so kind of soon into the film, if that makes sense. Like, that just showed how gripping the story was, because I really felt for the characters, which is always important in these films. I think when you don't feel for the characters, it doesn't kind of come across as well, because you aren't really to mind what happens to them. Whereas in this movie, I was so kind of invested in the characters and the story and everything, and I was just so in with it. And then it kind of takes this aspect that almost is kind of similar to a horror. Now, it's not a horror movie, but there's definitely parts where you feel almost scared and tense, and I don't know, it made me feel that feeling that you get when you watch a horror movie that's a good horror movie, which I haven't had for a while. I haven't watched a horror movie that's really made me feel like that for a while. Even though this isn't one, it definitely had this moment when I was like, and there was a scene and I was like, my heart was beating really fast, and it was a really intense moment, and then suddenly something happened, and they did it very in a very clever way. It wasn't anything to make you jump, it wasn't anything to scare you, but your heart stops. Like, literally, I think my heart stopped, and I was like, it was just insane, and I thought that was fantastic. I don't really, you know, because it's not, like I say, it's not a horror movie, it didn't have those jump scares that you would expect from a horror movie, but you could see where they could have put them in, if that makes sense. And there was this moment where they could have easily just tried to make you jump, and that would have been like, oh, but they didn't. They did something else, and it was, this moment in this film was brilliant, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it really had me. So I thought that was fantastic. Again, you know, I can't say masses about the movie because I didn't know much about this movie going into it, and I think that's why I really, really enjoyed it. I just kind of knew it was about a kidnapping and a call, and that was all I knew. I didn't know what to expect, I didn't know how good it was. I haven't really heard anybody else talking about it, so I wasn't really sure what to expect, and I kind of think that if you enjoy thrillers or crime movies, or even if you enjoy horror movies, and you know, if you enjoy that kind of feeling of being on the edge of your seat, I definitely recommend that you should check out this movie, because I just thought it was so good. I give this movie 5 stars. Like I say, I loved it. I thought it was great. The ending, I think I had a little I don't know, the ending I didn't really have a problem with, because sometimes, you know, movies like this, you can be like, yes, and then it ends and you're like, oh, I would have picked a different ending. But with this one, I think I might have chosen a different ending. Obviously, if it would have been up to me, I would have had a different ending, but I think it was still an okay ending. It didn't ruin anything. You know, sometimes with the movies like this, the ending completely, I go, oh, that was a great movie if only it wasn't for the ending. Whereas with this one, I was a little bit like, oh, okay, I would have done something different, but it didn't ruin anything for me. The movie was so fantastic for the whole rest of it that I was like, you know, those 30 seconds, I might have done something different, but it doesn't matter, that's fine, I was fine with it. So, gosh, I do recommend this film. I don't know how many people have heard of it, I don't know if you've heard of it, I don't know, you know, but I definitely think it definitely needs more recognition. I definitely think you should check it out. Like I said, I give it 5 stars. It was a brilliant thriller, mystery, crime, kidnapping type of thing. It was very interesting. The way they did it was fantastic. You were always kind of, oh, it was just brilliant. That's all I can really say. I just definitely recommend you check out this movie. If, you know, if you're into those kind of films, this one I think you will really enjoy. So don't let this one pass you by. Definitely give it a check out. And yeah, so that is The Call. It was brilliant in my opinion. So, you know, please go ahead and check this one out if you haven't already, because I think you will really, really enjoy it, because I certainly did. So yeah, that is The Call. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen this movie. I'd be really interested to know your thoughts. I don't really know anybody else's thoughts on it, so I don't know if it's just me who's like, yes, this movie is fantastic. Other people might not like it. I actually don't know. I don't know the verdict on the film, but I personally thought it was great, and it was great because I hadn't heard much about it, so I wasn't really influenced by any other opinions. I just went into it not knowing too much. I think that's probably best for you, even though you'll know that I really loved it, but still. Definitely just check this one out, just trust me. So yeah, comment down below if you think you might check this one out now. If you check it out after watching this video, come back and let me know what you thought and things, and I'd love to know. Thumbs up if you enjoyed these movie reviews. I definitely was excited to review this one for you. And yeah, until then guys, I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the movie if you watch it, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!